You guys did an impressive job with the whole East Coast kitchen thing. I want to salute y'all for bringing. That's multiple. It's not just two hoods. It's 11 sixes, 8 sevens, and the whole East Coast card together. But Doc, we got to talk about another important truce that you was very instrumental in. This is a truce that people said would never happen. And this is a rivalry that had bodies. And it's also a rivalry that's cross-cultural, cross-ethnicities, cross-races. This is the Florences and the East Coasters. From what I remember, this started in 99, so here it is 20 years later. And tell me if I'm lying, that truce is in effect and the rivalry's over between the Florences and the East Coasters.
Yes, it's over. You know, and I was fortunate to facilitate it. You know, because you can never say, I was told by my homie Bear from 89 East Coast, don't never say I. You know, you don't want to offend the whole hood because we're a big hood, different numbers, and people get offended. Like, you heard Doc on the radio, he hollered, he did it. He did it. Nah, man, we all did that together. It's a facilitator and everything.
Yeah, but you played a huge role.
And that's the role I played, facilitating it. So, you know, did nobody come with it or come up with it. I came to them with it, to my homies from East Coast Crips, and I facilitated it. And I asked them to roll with me every number. And I asked them all why to roll with me, you know, on this, to make a better community, you know what I'm saying? Because I came to homies that got kids, and I got kids today, you know. And I say, look, man, I want my son to be able to walk around through here. I want my daughter to be able, I want to just tell her, go to the park. Walk with your brother, go to the park. I don't want to be like, you can't walk to the park. Well, hold on, Daddy. Let me pause an NFL game, and I got to drive you to the park. I got to stay at the park with you. Then I got to come back and finish watching the game, you know, because I got to have the game. I got to have the game recorded because I can't go and leave you at this park because they out here is the gang war between us and Florencio that went to the point to where at 1 minute it's a racial war. Next minute it's a gang-related war. It's going back and forth, you know, and you done had over 100 and some murders. So I was looking at that like, come on, man. Like I was telling you now with the Crip and Blood thing, at what point we gonna have to come to our senses to see? Man, big as our hood is, Kitchen Crips surrounded by us. They still here today. You're not gonna kill nobody tribe off. So what is you doing with this stuff? What are we doing here? I'm not a fool. I'm very conscious of what I'm doing, whether I'm killing or I'm banging the hood, throwing up the set, everything. I have people run up on me on the streets and they say, where you from, homie? And I see they got the burn and everything. And I'm a Christian, and the Holy Spirit tell me, don't say East Coast Crip. Because he going to bust on you and kill you, and then you're going to die and go to hell for banging that stuff. Just tell him you don't even mess around right now. Just say you don't even mess around, man. Man, I'm with my kids or whatever. Bro, don't even say nothing. Just get in your car and tell him, man, wave your hand at him.
Yeah.
And I just wave my hand off and like, man, go on, man. You gonna do what you gonna do, you gonna do it.
That don't make you no buster.
No, that ain't my point. My point is I'm on a spiritual level with it. Like, you know, I don't want to die throwing up no East Coast Crip at you. I'm not supposed to let you catch me slipping and then got your gun on me. You gonna kill me, I'm gonna die with honor.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger, do what you do. But I'm not supposed to be like, nigga, I'm from East Coast Crip and you kill me. See, I'm on a spiritual level like that with it. That's just me. But for us, with us in Florencio, I'm saying, I asked the homies to let's come together on this to make the community better. And then at the same time, I was telling them I want to go to the Kitchen Crips next and the Broadways because the F-13s was like, let's do this now while we can. And we had just had a murder where they killed our homie X-Ray from First Street East Coast. And then we went back and was killing them, and we still put this together. And like I tell the homies, if God is with you, who can be against you? Because this was the work of God. So we have to give him the praises because I can't facilitate nothing myself. This was God working through me and every other one of my homies and every one of the F-13s, whether they was against it or not, whether they hate it still today or not. they're on a standstill not to kill one another because of the work of God working through everybody that facilitated this here.
What was your first reaction when you had this opportunity to bring the East Coasters and the Florences together earlier this year? I mean, what was your first thing you thought, like, impossible or hell yeah, let's do it? What was going through your mind at that time?
The first thing came to my mind, because you got to understand, I'm one of the main damn near East Coast Crips that's fucking up, you know? And here it is, this come on my plate. So, you know, when JP, that was my coworker in my building, she a BPS blood girl. And she told me that, you know, one of the essays from prison that some Mexican Mafia wanted to holler at me about trucing with us, the East Coast Crips. And I told her, oh, well, you know, she was like, you know, I want to give him your number and, you know, and shit. You know, I was like, hold on, because, you know, well, all right, you know, you got my number, give it to him. Because my thing was like, you know, give it to him. I'm not supposed to holler at him, shit. You know. So then she ended up giving him the number, and he ended up calling, you know, and then we ended up talking, you know what I'm saying, from there. And from there, you know, I told him straight up, not right now, because y'all just killed the homie X-Ray.
So this happened in early August. I think X-Ray got killed in the first week of August. Yeah. So were you talking with him in late July or right before X-Ray got killed, or right after X-Ray?
Right after X-Ray.
Right after, okay.
Right, I mean, immediately after.
Immediately
after.
Even
buried.
Okay. And
I was like, no, not right now, bro. I was like, I wouldn't even go over there and open my mouth trying to tell them let's truce after that. Yeah. So, you know, because they looking up to me, and I'm not going to lose my rep trying to do it at this point in time. So I was like, nah, bro. You know, and then, you know, I never hated no one, because that's a hell of a word to use. So my thing was always like, you know, I don't dislike certain gangs, how they get down when murders do happen. You know, you kill a man in front of his kid, you kill a man in the yard, you know, with his mama and everybody there barbecuing, hanging out. You know, you doing, to me, those coward moves. So I dislike how a person got down. You know, it's a way to get down, you know. So I just dislike that. But when it came to us and them and me for agreeing to facilitate it, I started having visions from God to do what this man is coming to me with. So when I woke up in the morning, I called, you know, the brother back in prison, the Mexican Mafia, homie. That's for Florencio. I just told him straight up, you know what? I said, I'm going to do this with you, bro. Let's do it. And he was like, I'm telling you, Doc, God is going to bless us, bro. Bless everyone. The community is going to be better. And I was like, I feel you, because God been talking to me too.
Wait up, a Mexican Mafia dude is talking about God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because see, I like the brother say, James, I didn't want to mention God to him because I was like, never be ashamed of God, you know, because he'll be ashamed of you on Judgment Day. So I always address God, you know, to my own homies. And they'll tell you, every East Coast Crip that know me, from day one, I come out my house and they right there on the block gangbanging. I'm getting in the car with moms. We heading off for church. And I catch you and see you giggling and everything, I come right back out of service, get out them dress shoes and slacks, and get in your ass. And let you know, don't get it twisted, because I'm representing Jesus Christ, boy. You already know, I'm the killer over here, not you. Stay in your place, let me do the Lord, you know, before I do your ass. And that's how we got down.
Damn.
But same with the Florencios, I told them, you know, I said, man, God is talking to me, brother, to do it, let's go. And I just started getting at homies, and the main homies that had a problem with it was the First Street East Coast, because they just lost X-Ray. So they was like, hold on, dog, though, you know? And I'm like, I said, I know how y'all feel, bro, but look, you know, this is me talking to you. I'm with you. I'm one of the main ones with you. I'm saying, do this for me. Work with me on that. I ain't never asked nobody from the hood to work with me on nothing, because I ain't never tried the peace. So I'm asking y'all to peace with me, because it's bigger than just me asking you. And, you know, come on, stand with me on this, and I'm telling you, it's going to work out for the better. Don't think I don't care about X-Ray just like you. You feel me? And let's just do this with me. And my homies from First Street was like, all right, cuz, we with you. We love you, cuz. We all respected how I came, and we took that, and I went back to him after going to every other number that said, do your thing then, homie. We with you, cuz. You see something in it, fuck it, cuz. We love you, cuz. Do your thing. And I went to them, and we all came together, had a meeting. We had a few disagreements, like, but I can't do it. I'm telling you, man, you know. So those people, we weeded out, you know, and got things settled. You know, we got their understanding, like majority rule, though, homie. And I went back to him and said, we're ready, homie. I told him we ready. And he was like, okay, let me get mine together. And when he got his together, we met inside Chuco's for the first time. And it was like off the hinges, because it was like all my homies, we all up in here, and we, you know, it was just like man, it was like
You
to
can't
me,
even explain.
I can't speak for all my homies, but to me, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Because when we had the Nation of Islam doing security, and when even the nation was running around with their head chopped off, they said, the F-13's here, they're here, they just come in. You know, and I seen them like, and I was like, and then I'm trying to break my neck to the door. I'm like, they're here, and then I go out there and greet them, and they telling me, hold on, little dog, we first come in. I'm like, some of y'all can come in this way, the gate is open around back. They like, the gate open in the back? Okay. So they swooped around the back, they came in through the front. And when they started walking in, all my homies seen them coming in, and I was just like, to me, that was like, that inspired me right there. Like, now I see my purpose in life, because I done pulled off this, not me pulling this off. I said, this got to be the work of God. I said, because look at these essays coming in here. I said, look at us standing in here waiting on them. I said, ain't nobody in here pulling out a gun or being disrespectful. And then the Holy Spirit just started speaking through me like, hurry up and say this, hurry up and say this, hurry up and get everything together so you can get this done, get them out of here. Because the real facilitator was God through Jesus Christ working in me. That's how I looked at it and still look at it today. Because if it was for me to do, ain't nowhere in hell I would have put it off. And if it was for the homie up in the prison system, that's Florencio, ain't nowhere in hell he would have put it off himself too. Because he said the same thing I said. He said, God is telling me to do this, brother.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Smoke?
Yeah, that was deep, man. You can see, and the thing about it, me, Porky, and a couple more kitchens, we was there too. And when I walked up in, I said, man, I seen all these essays, man. And I said, I hope there's a whole bunch, enough coasters up there. And I looked at, there was a lot of coasters up in there.
Coasters started coming.
Yeah, they was in there deep. And so the essays was like, you know, everybody was introducing themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, and then we were still in the room with them. You know, and we said we from kitchen. They said, we want to have this meeting with just the coasters. I said, man, no problem, man. Let me go on outside, bro. Because because they said hey, this between us and the coasters. You know, I say, I respect that, bro. And matter of fact, I won't get up out of here anyway, because if it go all bad, I'm gonna be outside. I took Porky, let's go outside, man. They want us outside. We gonna go outside, man.
Yeah, and it was what we did see though. It was coasters all over here, F-13s all over here, just facing each other, and they had it on the sides. It was a lot. It was a lot of coasters and a lot of F-13s.
And the first thing I said to everybody was, you know, God said, I told my side, I said, I turned to all my homies. I said, I thank y'all for coming out for me. I appreciate it. I thank y'all for supporting me with this. And then I turned to the Florencio and told them, I thank y'all for coming out and being willing to do this and being supportive of this too.
Wasn't homie on the phone too?
Y'all FaceTimed him,
yeah,
right?
the homie was on the phone from prison that and I just asked everybody, I said, before we even begin, you know, let's shake hands and everybody can introduce themselves. So we all just start walking around. What's up, homeboy, man? Everybody just shaking hands and I'm watching it and I'm just sitting there watching all that. And then when everybody starts speaking back and forth to one another, you know, that's when I realized and seen, like I said, yeah, God is really behind this, because I seen the tension in people from their side and the tension from our side, the hatred. The people that want to just get it cracking right in here and say, I ain't with it, let's go right in here, let's get this back going. Then I start seeing younger little homies days later, they want to keep it going. Because to the youngsters, they're saying, oh man, other little youngsters that know them, they text them and say shit to them on phones. Oh, y'all turned down. Y'all out there trucing with Kitchen. What's up with the coasters? What's up with the Kitchens? Y'all trucing with coasters. And then the little youngsters running around the hood, they saying, oh, well, damn, it used to be on and cracking, man. I used to write East Coast on the wall, offend them. Or we write Kitchen and offend them, and then they coming through and we going back. Now the hood is bored. Because they want to keep the killing going. So that's when you have the haters, really. I call them, from doing this type of work, I call them protesters. Wow. They just want to protest the work God got us doing.
That's a way to marginalize the youngsters that
they
ain't on board,
protest
call them protesters.
Yeah.
Especially those that's already in jail that probably don't know when they're going to get out. And they just trying to get somebody up there with y'all? Ain't nobody trying to get up in there, man. We trying to keep brothers from going up in there. We trying to stop that cycle, man.
Now, one of the things I want to ask you, Doc, is it's kind of bizarre because it's sort of like a chance meeting starting with Petra that got this whole thing going. Like it almost never even happened in the first place. And for what eventually ended up happening is incredible because without Petra hooking you up with Homeboy, and he said it's okay to say his name because I've talked to him several times, so I'll say his name because he said it was cool. Without Petra hooking you up with Babo, none of this stuff happens.
That's right. None of it wouldn't have happened because Babo was already in prison telling my homies from East Coast Crip, who could I talk to out there? And a lot of them was like younger homies, some of them, little dudes doing life from the hood or whatever, So they was trying to connect them to certain homies that they can just, out of favoritism, go to him, go to Cole. I hook you up with my homie Woo Woo, cuz, all this attitude. So he kept going like that. And then she told him, well, I'm over here in the youth center and I'm watching this brother here. He's serious about bringing our people together. You might want to talk to him because, from what I hear Doc, cool brother. That's all she was saying on my behalf. And then, when she presented it to me like that. So a lot of my G homies started talking with Babo. And then Babo told me when he talked with me, he said, finally, your homies was going to give me your number, some G homies that he grew up with. At his age, being 58.
Like Lala from East Coast.
Yeah,
he knew him very well.
Yeah, Big Lala. He grew, him and Lala was like best friends coming up.
Isn't that crazy?
And they, because I told the homies when we truce with Kitchen and Smoke and Pork, my witness, I had to tell my little homies, for all of y'all, I turned to all the East Coasters and said, for all y'all don't know, these was our homies coming up. We was like this before we went to war and fell out. So don't get caught up in letting other G's or anybody else tell you like it's so much hatred to be like fuck them and all this attitude. Know your history. I'm calling y'all here today just to come back to normal program what we was before we fell out. And that's how we started our meeting with us in Kitchens. And same with Babo was saying in jail, him and Lala used to be eating in each other's houses, hung with each other. All in each other's houses, know each other's moms, everything, birthday parties. They was best of friends. Us and Florencio, we all was just like us and Kitchen came up. So, what I was telling the homies about the Florencios, they couldn't believe when I was telling them that right in front of the Florencios. Know your history, and a lot of us as black men, we don't know where we came from, so we don't know where we're going. So we so quick to keep going the destructive way we're going. But if you know where you come from, that will help you a little more to know where you need to be getting. And a lot of this stuff is not for us, bro. And we got to quit trying to beat around the bush with it and just flat out say it like I'm saying it, I fear no man nor his weapon. I done been shot 82, 84, 85. I know how I feel. I know the fear of it when you come and you got the gun right on me and I know you finna pull it and I know the feeling that I'm finna die here. This cat finna shoot me. I can't take another bullet. I know all that feeling. you know, and I'm content with myself today. So I know when that come again at this point in time of my life, I'm ready for it because I'm trying to get to God in the end. And I'm telling everybody, man, it's not a game. This is not no game. People will get you caught up in this gang banging stuff, and you will really be lost, running around trying to smoke everybody. And then you catch these murders and everything, and then you, like I say, you sitting up in there, and then you hear on the streets, we playing football with each other. And now you up there talking, you in the pen talking crazy because you mad because the system worked you. Not only did we work each other by trying to teach you this mess, but the system is the biggest person working everybody.
Real.
Because the system know just how to dismantle this mess and put it away.
Right. For real.
But they won't do it because we're a big old commodity of theirs. It's a booming industry, letting these SA gangs and black gangs continue to kill each other and do what we do.
Man,
continue to make us believe that we own
money.
this little area, which is a section of a community. See, they know how to get us off in front of every lady house that call the police and say, they out here again in front of my house. They know how to get you from off in front of that house where you'll never be standing there again, and that's over with on that block. They know how to make you can't even be in your own hood because they have the power to.
Yeah.
Now, you guys had 3 face-to-face meetings with the Florences. Before we close out, just tell us how the last one went and what is the plans to maintain that peace between the Florences and the East Coasters? Because any one thing could get it going. So how do you prevent that?
Yeah.
Speak on that that third meeting, because that was the deepest of all the meetings.
Yeah, the third one was real deep because the third meeting was for us we kept having problems with the wall banging, you know, because once you have a truce, that's the next stage of it. Everybody is abiding by the truce. We seeing each other, no killings, ain't nobody doing nothing because nobody want to act like they're above the law and break that rule. And then their own kind gonna deal with you. So it's like, I can't do nothing. We're really trucing with them. So what cats started doing was writing on the wall. We wake up in the morning, I got little homies that wrote on the wall, F13, no peace.
Wow.
You know, and then we like, we get a call, homies sending through each other's phones. You know, we like, oh, check him out. He think he above the law. So we whooped that homie, whooped him real good, ran him 4 rounds, on DPs, Then we turn around, F13 got a little homie right on the wall. And we even went so far, we had incidents where it had been like shootings, one shooting. So we ended up coming together saying, look, we ain't gonna let nothing stop this. That's what Babo said. And when he told me that, I'm out here, he in the prison system working. So my hope I started losing hope in it, like, man, there's so many homies to my thing with it. Then I'm getting these ugly looks from F13s when I see them. But Babo kept telling me, hang in there, Doc. Keep doing the work. We're going to do this. Don't give up, bro. And I kept pushing, homie. And like he said, today is where it is. But when we had problem with wall banging in the protesters, that's what I call them. They're not really haters, they just protesters. And the protesters, once we shut them down, and then we came up with a solution like for us, the wall banging is, if you see it on the wall, if your homie don't put his name by it, well, you can say, hey, everybody, you see what Spider wrote on the wall? And then we can, on our end, can say, man, you see what the homie Bam wrote? And then you can deal with your own and then get it off. So if somebody writing it and ain't leaving their name, it can be the police, bro. So let's just get it out of our heads like I'm asking you to get the gang banging out your head, the red and blue rag. Get it out your head. And then get that out your head when you see that on the wall. Because, see, we still, at my age, the devil try to work me when I'm riding down the street and I see my hood whacked out. Then I got people behind me blowing their horn like, go, the light green. I'm still looking at it like, these motherfuckers done whacked the hood out, cuz. And then I got to come to my senses and say, look at the old devil trying to still get me, even though I ain't with it no more like that, So then I got to come out of that and keep going, homie. It ain't the world don't end when you see your hood whacked out. I done been in prisons when cats done pulled their shirts off and got the hood whacked out on them. So I'm like, come on, man, don't let that kill you. What? Nobody done killed off nobody gangs.
Yeah.
We just going nowhere, homie. It's a senseless murders. But when we got to the point where we had to come together on those terms, we met for that last meeting with the F-13s, and we agreed that we only gonna trip wall banging when a cat leave his name up there, because he's letting us know I ain't with it, and I'm trying to rebel against it, and whatever y'all want to do, we can do it. That's who we said we'll deal with. Yeah. If the name ain't by, we just gonna get it off. So we've been getting both off. When we see them whacked out, us whacked out, we just get it off the wall, bro, and keep pushing. That's what we've been doing.
All right, final question is, if any other brothers from L.A. that's from a hood, from a community that wants to make some change, what can they do right now? How can they connect? What can they do? Because we want more people to join the movement.
What we doing now, the United We Stand, up at Dock Off, we putting a line in there. Like I say, everything will be established next year. You know, first we were just meeting and talking, but everything going to be solid next year.
All righty. I want to thank all you brothers for coming down. Lil Doc, Smoke, and Pork. I truly appreciate you. I've already witnessed with my own eyes the work y'all been doing, and it has inspired me to start doing some of the same work. We'll probably talk about that another day, because I haven't got to that point that you got to, Doc. But again, man, I want to thank you guys for coming in.